Welcome back to the dark underbelly and the case of Heather Reyes. You heard from two brothers, and now you will hear from the third. But this brother wasn't as convinced of Heather Reyes that the other brothers were, or the boy's dad. He never trusted her. He called her out, constantly fought with her, and she made him pay, and made him pay dearly. She made his life hell, constantly would create dissension within the family regarding him because he would always call her out. But finally, the boy had enough. When they went fishing one day, the dad was talking about getting back together with Heather Reyes for the 100th time.
Right now, I'm primarily investigating sex abuse cases.
The truth finally is revealed. This victim, this stepson of Heather Reyes, told his father that for years, Heather Reyes had been sexually molesting him and his two brothers, and there is no reason why he should ever get back together with her. The dad was in shock, but he didn't call the police right away. And what you will find out in this interview, and then we have one more interview as the first victim comes back for a second interview to tell investigators the impact that the abuse had on his life. We will then hear from the boy's dad, and it will be the revelations, and the revelations will certainly shock you. This is victim number 3, the case of Heather Reyes.
Okay, so like I said, my name is Detective Dan Pender. I'm an investigator here at the Sheriff's Office. I get tasked with all kinds of different investigations. Right now, I'm primarily investigating sex abuse cases and child abuse cases and stuff like that, special victims unit stuff. And I had saw that you had some information, I guess, in the case that I'm working right now. So just some real basic information. How old does that make you right now?
21.
Okay. And where are you living at now? Okay. And I read through the report here, and I saw that your name had come up with something. I guess, how did this end up getting reported to the sheriff's office?
I believe my mother.
Okay. And how did your mom end up learning about things?
Because we ended up telling her. I told her maybe years ago, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And my father and Heather were still in a relationship, so I guess she didn't really.
Okay.
And I guess she said that we always kind of fighted her on it. I was like, I never really fought you on it.
Okay.
I'm bringing that, out, speaking on that.
Okay. So you lived your whole life there at that house until you moved in with your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't even technically moved in. I've just been staying there throughout this investigation.
Okay.
But
so
my dog and all my stuff is at the house.
So I guess you're kind of still a resident there. I understand.
Basically still.
Okay. So you still have a room there with some clothes in it.
Mhm.
Okay. And who all lived at that house?
It would be my father, my stepmother.
What's your dad's name? And I guess let's start at the very beginning, okay?
Okay.
Take me back to the very first time something happened.
The very first time something happened, I was a freshman in high school.
So how old are you?
I am, I believe, 15.
Okay, so you're approximately 15,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a freshman in high school.
Yes, sir.
And let's see, I got to do my math here. So 15, let's see what year. I'm trying to figure out what year this is.
That would be 2013, 14.
Okay, so sometime in 2013 to 2014.
Wait, no, because I graduated 2016, so that would be 2012.
Okay.
2011, 2012.
So sometime in 2011 and 2012.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. And time of the year is it? Is it cold? Is it warm?
This
Is it summertime? Is it?
I remember the exact day. It was homecoming.
Homecoming. And that would be your freshman year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me what happened that day.
So I wasn't able to go to homecoming,
Mm-hmm.
and I stayed home with my parents. I think I was grounded, and we were watching a movie in the room, and while we were watching the movie, I was in between my stepmother and my father.
Mm-hmm.
I was in between those two, and I remember during the movie that I was sitting there. You know, she kind of like creeped her hand up and like grabbed my hand and was like holding my hand there for a second, and then she like slowly started to move my hand like towards like her leg, and it went from her leg to like she moved my hand up to like, you know, her private, her vagina, and then we were just sitting there, and I remember like trying to like move my arm away, and she like turned over and then like put my arm on her butt, and this is like literally sitting right next to my father. And that's the first time that I had like ever encountered like you know, her.
So let's see. You said that we were watching a movie in the room. What room is the room?
This is the king room, the king bedroom of the house.
Okay. So this is the bedroom that your dad shares with your stepmom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're in between them. Are you guys on a couch or on a bed or something different?
We were on a bed watching the movie.
Okay.
And
okay. And in between mom and dad is your stepmom and dad, and then she took your hand and put it on her leg,
mm-hmm.
and then moved it to her vagina.
Yes, sir.
Wow. What was she wearing?
She was in a nightgown. There was like a dress, but it was a nightgown.
A dress style nightgown.
Exactly.
Okay. And when you say she moved your hand to her vagina, was this over her clothing, under her clothing, or something different?
This was over her clothing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And are you guys on top of the covers, under the covers, or something different?
We were under the covers.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then you said that you pulled your hand away, and then she put it on her butt?
And then she like turned over after like I pulled my arm away. She turned over and then like grabbed my arm again and then put it on her butt.
Okay.
And this was like towards the end of the movie. Then my dad like started playing video games.
Okay.
And then she continued to do it. And then I like was trying to like basically just sitting there and just like rubbing her ass and.
Over her clothing or under her clothing?
Over her clothing,
okay.
Yes, sir. And then kind of went to bed after that.
Okay. Where'd you go to bed at?
In my room.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did anything else happen that night?
Nothing else happened that night.
All right. Did she say anything to you?
No.
Okay.
Never
Did you
spoke
say anything?
about it ever again.
Okay. All right. And then, all right. Did anything else happen?
Nothing else happened that night other than the fact that she was like drinking wine. And
okay.
I feel like that's, you know, it kind of like loosened her up into doing like those kind of things.
Okay. So when you say those kind of things, did those kind of things ever happen again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me more.
There's only one other time that it happened to me.
Okay.
I was like always the like rebellion. I was the kid that always rebelled. Like I was the kid that always was in trouble. Like with her, like me and her butt heads like our whole lives.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like my whole life, I was like we clashed, and we just never really like were on the same page about anything. Like always, we were just always mean to each other. Mm-hmm. And so like I basically stating that meaning that like I wasn't really the target in that, because I now hearing, you know, what comes out of my brothers, like, they had a whole different way that it went upon to them, like, basically saying that I was, like, she didn't want me, like, she just did these things because I believed that, like, she was drunk, like, but she never really, like, targeted me, because I was always the one that was, like, you know, screw you, like, I never, like, really had, like, that type of lovey-dovey relationship with her,
So
like my other brothers did.
You said there was one other time?
And so this other time there was one other time, and she was drinking again.
When was this? How old are you?
This one's a hard one, because this is definitely after that. It was probably maybe, I would say, 2 months after that happened the first time.
Okay, so 2 months after the homecoming that you had to stay home from.
Exactly.
So you're still
about 2 months after that.
So you're still a freshman, and so it's sometime once again in 2011 or 2012.
Exactly.
And then at that time you say you were approximately what did we say, 15?
Yeah, I'd say about 15. That happened to me. Like I said, it only happened to me twice.
Okay. All right, approximately 15 in 2011 and 2012. All right, and where are you at?
So I was helping my dad build a bridge. We have a bridge right out front in our front yard that it basically goes over the embankment so that he can back his trailer up into the yard.
Okay.
And there's a paved way and everything. Well, we're rebuilding the studs under it, and I remember that night that she was with a neighbor down the street, Scott, and she was just getting wasted, and she had to like go to bed that night, and we were going to bed at the same time. And it so happened, so when I went in there to the room after I just got done helping my father, he was still outside, and I went in, got showered up, ate some dinner, and by the time I was going to bed, she was going to bed as well. So I went in there, I was like, hey, Heather, good night, I love you. And I remember she said, come here, give me a hug, good night, give me a hug and kiss good night. I said, all right. So I crawled up on the bed and I was giving her a hug, and as I was giving her a hug, she like started pulling me in like tighter, and I was like, I started to realize that she was like putting her whole entire body like on me, and then she started to grab me from my butt cheeks and started to like hump me as I was on top of her giving her a hug, and then this is when she like basically just kept like straddling me and just humping me that night that happened.
Okay. All right,
With
so
clothes on, I had clothes on, she had a nightgown on, but it wasn't the dress, it was basically just a shirt and some pajama pants, just pajamas basically.
Okay. And what room was this in? You had to go in?
This was in my father's room again,
right.
in their bed again. As I was giving her a hug and kiss goodnight, she began to like literally grab me up from my butt and like kind of just straddle me on top of her as she humped me.
Okay. So you were on top of her, she was on top of you?
I was on top of her giving her a hug goodnight.
All right. And did she say anything?
No, she just was making loud breathing noises.
Okay.
Like breathing deeply. And then, like, the morning after that happened, like, I went to school, and, like, I just went to give her a hug and a kiss goodbye for school that morning, and she did kiss me on my lips.
Is this something that was normal or abnormal?
That was very abnormal, because we never kissed her on the lips.
Okay.
And, like, it was just weird. It was really weird.
Okay. So how did her humping you, how did that eventually stop?
She eventually said, I'm tired, and basically rolled over and was like, went to bed.
Okay. Did it happen for a long time, short time? Or?
It happened possibly 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes.
Okay. And what part of her body was touching your body?
Her vagina was touching my penis.
Okay.
Because, like, I ended up becoming harder than it was just,
Okay. And you say that she was clothed and you were clothed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said you were approximately 15 for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was there any other incidences that had occurred with you and her that we have not discussed?
Just like small things, always small things.
What do you
Like
mean?
every once in a while, like when like she would hug us, she would just like put like all of her body on us, like literally like her like vagina on us and stuff, and like we'd be in the kitchen and she would just do like inappropriate things, like grab our asses or I mean, yeah, just sometimes she would just do inappropriate stuff.
Okay.
I really never like, the whole inappropriate thing was kind of my brother's thing. Like, she did, like, a brief, like I said, the 2 incidents that I've had were brief incidents that she did with me, I think, under the intoxication of alcohol.
So when did you learn of something happening to your brothers?
So I learned something happened to my brothers years ago, and they never...
Was this year, last year?
This was possibly, I'd say about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. So it's 2018 right now. Was it 2014 or 2015? How about this? What year did you graduate from high school?
I graduated 2016, and it happened...
Were you still in high school when this happened?
It happened about my junior year that I saw that. And and it was in my living room. They were on the couch, and I was peeping through the cat door, and my we have a laundry room. The laundry room door has a cat door in it, and I was peeking through the cat door, looking at them on the couch doing that.
Okay, so it's junior year. They're in the living room, and when you say that, and you said you looked through the laundry room cat door, and are they like standing? Are they sitting?
No, they were both sitting on the couch, and she was just like had her head on him, and like he just had his like arm around her on her backside and was just like rubbing her butt, like literally sitting on the couch, and I was just like, wow.
Under or over clothes?
Over clothes, yes sir.
Do you remember what she was wearing?
I don't, because I remember there was a blanket over the both of them.
Okay. Was his hand over the blanket?
Yes, his hand was
Okay.
over the blanket.
All right. And so junior year, you said you graduated in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
So this was, what, 2015?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, never talked to him about it.
Okay.
And my little brother, I guess, you know, from here, what I've heard just recently, everything coming out the way it came out, because they're going through a divorce and stuff, and, you know, my dad's been really going through a lot, so it obviously came out. I was the one that told my dad, you know, that this had happened.
Which one's your little brother?
By this, like, she actually, like, I believe this is what he told me, that she, like, got him drunk before school one day, then began to give him a hand job and to suck his dick. He told me this. So we actually got into a big discussion about it about 3 weeks ago when it all came out.
And how did it all come out?
It all came out because my dad was just moping around one day. We were at the lake all day, and I was with him all day, and it was just driving me insane seeing him this way, knowing the kind of information that I knew, and like carrying that kind of weight, and just to see him all day. And it just
When you say knowing the information you knew, are you talking about what happened to you?
What happened to me begins to speak more details on it, and like really opened it up to where we know exactly, or I know what happened.
So just so I get the timeline straight, 3 weeks ago you had a conversation with your dad at the lake because he was moping around.
Yeah, I'm 15, he had to be 13, 14. He told me that this is the first story that I ever heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
The first story I ever heard of it was that she got him drunk before school one day, gave him a couple Coronas or whatever, got this man drunk before school, and began to, you know, suck his dick and give him a hand job. And then I recently found out 3 weeks ago that she cornered him up against the shed in the back, that she was belligerent, and begin to hump him, and then begin to like take his dick out of his pants, and then, you know, for them to have sex.
So whenever he was 13 or 14 and you were 15 and 16, he told you this, did you tell anybody else?
I told friends. I did. I told like 3 or 4 friends of mine that were super close to me.
Okay.
And they, you know, I never got out. It was just always between us. Like, we spoke on it. We were just like, wow, like, this is insane.
Okay. Do you remember who you told?
Those were those 3. Those are the 3 that I told.
Are you still in contact with any of those people?
Yeah.
Do you happen to have the phone numbers of any of those individuals?
I have the phone number for all of them.
That would be a big help.
Yeah.
Before you had the conversation with your dad at the lake?
No, that's all I knew. For the longest time, I just knew that she like basically gave him a hand job.
Okay.
and sucked him up.
All
For
right.
the longest time, that's all I knew.
So then,
And he kept this other thing that he had encountered with her a secret, a big secret.
so then you said your dad was moping around at the lake, and then what did you say to your dad at the lake?
Okay, so all day long, he would not stop talking about her and just the situation, and I was with him all day. It just had me really stressed out. I was boiling. Like, I wasn't gonna say nothing. He made me wait like 30 minutes in the truck, and I remember I'm just sitting in the truck, and I was just like, I'm gonna calm down. I'm not gonna say nothing. The first thing that he does when he gets in the car is start talking about her again, and I'm talking like this is 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night, and the first thing that he does when he gets in the car is start talking about her again after talking about her all day, and I just remember flipping out. I'm just like, Dad,
What's he saying about her?
he's just like, I just can't believe, how she's just ripping our family apart, how she's just gonna do this, and just walk away. I mean, just everything in the book.
Why? Because is she wanting to leave him, or?
So basically, he told her she needed to get out because of the fact that she can't stop drinking and causing problems in the house.
All right.
So when he told her that, she has had this victim mentality that everyone's out to get her because she's an alcoholic and she rages when she's out. That's what my dad was trying to tell her, because my dad is like, I can't deal with you when you're drunk because you're out of control. She would get drunk, rage, slam things around the house. I mean, just blow up, come up to you, ask you what you got planned for your life, and if it didn't line up with what she wanted to hear from you, she would just start raging on you, start roasting you, and just taking off, just being disrespectful. And
Okay.
so he just got sick and tired. He was like, look, woman, look, you need to understand that if you're gonna live in this house, that you ain't gonna be drinking like this. And so she moves out. He's in the horses, and I was serving tables out there. So, I'm hearing this on the other line that my dad's going through this, and I call him up, and I'm wondering what's going on. I'm talking to him every day, and just been with him through this whole time, because this started in May.
Mm-hmm.
This started in February is when she left.
Okay.
And so when she left, me and my dad have been in contact ever since she left, just talking. And so I got out of my lease out there, and I came down here, and I was working with my dad ever since. And she just recently moved back into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I've been living somewhere else. Because she just out of nowhere says, oh, my living situation from where I'm at right now is not going to work out. I need to come back home.
Okay, so then he talks about her all day at the lake. 9:30, 10 o'clock, you get in the car, you can't
Mhm.
take it anymore, and you said what?
I was just like, look, man, you got to understand that this woman that you're losing might just be the biggest blessing in your life, man. You really don't understand how bad she's, destroyed this family, and how, she's divided all of us, bro, and how we're all separated because of this. And next thing you know, I'm at home, and he just keeps going, we're going back at it. And I'm like, look, dude, I'm just like, at this point, you need to understand something. This is something that we've been hiding from you that is not fair to you, but that we just need to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's touched your own sons, Dad. We were she's literally gotten drunk before and put her hands on us in sexual ways, and it's happened for many years. 4 years old, he says he has times where he can think back to 11, 12 years old that she was doing this to him. And like I said, me and her clashed heads the whole time, so she never had it out for me. It was always the sweet ones. I was always the one that was always going against the grain, always. I never had, there was never a day in that house where I was agreeing with what she had to say. I was always nah. I always had a way of thinking myself. I was always just I don't care what you have to say, woman, you're not my mom, I always had that mentality. So I never really got in it with her like that. She just did those to me, those two things, and I was just, as a young boy and being curious, I kind of fed into it, and I was curious and I was feeling on it. And I was a young boy, but I should have never even been put into that predicament to where I should have even been, curious enough to feel on that, to know on that, and so I'm telling my dad, and my dad's just mind blown. He's just like, what? He's calling my brothers up, all my brothers. We all come home and we just fed it to him, and we were just like, look, dude, like. I guess my little brother opened up and told him that, like I said, she cornered him up against the...
This is something you heard or something your dad told you later?
This is something I walked into.
Okay, so you...
Because I left, and I walk into my brother explaining what's going down with his side of the story, with Heather and them, to my dad, and I walk in, I'm freaking out, and I just remember walking in to him saying that yeah, Dad, I can't believe it happened as well, and I came in at the end. So I came in at the end of the conversation, and then I left again.
Okay, so your dad would be a better person to ask about that.
Exactly, because I walked in at the end of the conversation, and I literally just got the last bit of it.
Okay, we'll talk to your dad about that stuff.
Okay,
that's fine. So, who ended up saying it to your mom?
So my mom has known for a while now. My mom has known about. Well, I told my mom that.
And you also told your mom?
Yes. But actually, I didn't tell my mom as soon as it happened. I told my mom a little bit after it happened because I was obviously afraid to tell my mom as well. But I was comfortable opening up with it to my friends.
Do you remember when you told your mom?
It was probably I believe it was senior year. I believe it was senior year, maybe junior year. Okay. Because I moved out to California with my mother, and I don't believe that she knew I was in California. I think I told her after I was in California, in South Carolina maybe.
So when were you in South Carolina?
Senior year. So 2 years ago.
Okay, so
2 years ago. So we're thinking
2016.
2016. Yeah. Okay. Maybe 2015.
So what is, and
I told her about what happened with me, about how I was in the bed with my father,
right.
And she was, grabbing my hands and trying to get me to rub on her and stuff. And I told her that, and then I was feeling on each other.
Okay.
I told her that on a separate occasion.
Okay. I'll give her a call and talk to her then, and then. So, anyways, you told your mom that a couple years ago, but then did it come up again, or? So
with all this blowing up, it came up again. With me telling my father, because no one else wanted to come out and say it. So I told my father, and when I told my father, what really made my mom step up and say something was that my dad wanted to present this to Heather as like a bargaining chip to say, look, I'm gonna get this, and you're gonna leave, because if not, then we're gonna come out and say this, and we're gonna make this legal, we're gonna make this public. And so when I told my mom that, my mom freaked out. She was like, no, she doesn't get that opportunity. So she went and she took it upon herself. She was like, nope, I'm calling the cops. Because my mom came in town this last week, and my dad was lining it up for this week that he was going to file the papers, that we were going to sit Heather down in the living room and tell Heather, look, we know what you've done. We're going to take this to the next step legally if you don't give me my house and my kids. And so that's what he was going to do, and I told my mom that, and my mom was like, no, she didn't get that option. Okay, so your dad wanted to use it for a bargaining chip in a divorce agreement. Exactly. However, your mom wanted it to, my mom's like, no, she wants justice on it.
Okay, so your mom wanted justice for you guys.
She's just mind blown on it. Okay. She feels like she's been failed. She gave her biggest sacrifice, all three of her boys, up to her ex-husband that she thought was gonna take good care of us, and she feels like she's been betrayed, and and so she was like, no, she didn't get that option.
Okay. So that's why she ended up calling law enforcement.
Exactly. Okay. Because that's what I told her. I was like, look, this is what Dad's planning on doing. Okay. She came in town. We were at bowling alley, and I didn't really realize that she felt this way, that she wanted to bring justice to this.
Sure.
And my dad was gonna do it this week either way.
Okay.
And it all just ended up to where she was like, nah, she had to nip it in the bud.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you know or you've seen firsthand? I mean, not not stuff you've heard from other people, because obviously I talked to him. I also need to interview your dad and interview your mom, but is there anything else that you know of that I forgot to ask you about or anything like that?
You know, as just as far as it all, you know, I think I really did just get it all out. You
Okay.
know, like I said, it's the more incriminating stuff, like it happened with the other boys.
I understand. Okay.
You know, I was really just headstrong and really rebellious, so it really didn't. She didn't really target me as much as she targeted them.
So you actually moved out of the house while you were still in school?
Yeah, like I was always, man. I tell you, I was freaking everywhere, man. From junior year, I've been to Dade City, I've been to California, South Carolina, all these places, because there's DCF cases opened on them from where there's so much crap that's been in this house, just so much drama, and so I've been all over since. You'd have to give him a call and just set it up with him, because I think he's more than willing to
set that up. What about your dad? What's your dad's schedule like?
He's open as well, man. He's open right
Okay.
now. He's got open schedule. He owns his own construction company.
So he has a flexible schedule.
So he has a flexible schedule, yes, sir.
All right. Is there anything else you could think of be important for me to know? I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah, just on the subject. I mean, there's so much obviously that's gone down. You know, in this house, there's a lot.
Okay.
Just crazy stuff. But obviously, for this incident and for what we got here, the sexual allegation against her, that's really all I got, man. It's nothing but the truth, man. I can't lie. Can't.
All right. If you can think of anything else at all, that's my name, that's what the case number is, and my desk phone number is right there. You already had that, it's in your phone.
Okay,
but if you think of anything else, that's my contact information, okay?
Gotcha. I'll get that in my wallet right now.
Yeah, just in case you need it for anything. I don't have any other questions for you today.
Okay.
And I'll walk you back out there.
All right, appreciate you.
Okay. Like I said, everything
I'm moving to...
move and you get it updated like a mailing address or your actual address, call and leave me a voicemail.
Okay. And I can always make a trip up here if you guys need anything.
Great.
Because it's only 3 hours away.
Sure, and I just want to make sure I have a current address for you, okay?
Yes.
Great. All right, well, I'll walk you outside. Thanks for everything today.
Yeah, man.